Am I mentally ill? I'm sure some of you are thinking, you've spent the last 2 years on YouTube talking about your anxiety, your depression, and your PTSD. So yeah, Jen, you're mentally ill. But what exactly is mental illness anyway? As I was typing the words with mental illness on my new YouTube banner image, I started to wonder, is this really true? Am I really mentally ill? What does it even mean to be mentally ill? Am I claiming something that I am not? Like, is there some sort of a litmus test for mental illness? Am I being a drama queen here? Who is mentally ill and who is just having emotions? Where is the line between those things? So I Googled it. Of course, that's what I do. I Google things. Am I the only one who uses Google as a means of justifying my thoughts and ideas? The American Psychiatric Association says mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, or behavior, or a combination of these, that can be associated with distress and/or problems functioning in social work or family activities. So let me rephrase that in a more simple way. If the way you think, you feel, or you behave causes problems for you, either internally or externally, you have a mental illness. If it's not a problem, it's not a problem. That might seem really straightforward, but I personally have a habit of showing up to therapy sessions and asking, is this normal? Is this how I'm supposed to feel? Tell me if this is a problem or not, because I don't know. It's better than it used to be, though. When I was first diagnosed with CPTSD, I knew that I felt bad, but I'd also felt that way for so long that I just sort of assumed that was the baseline for everybody. At that point, I wouldn't have ever said that I had a mental illness. I would have said things like, I struggle with my mental health, or I'm dealing with some mental health challenges. I wonder if you see what that did. Mental struggles, mental challenges. Those phrases place the burden straight back onto me. I'm the one struggling. I'm the one who can't meet the challenge. It is my fault. And I was comfortable with that. On the other hand, the phrase mental illness invokes an immediate outside stigma. In the city where I live, mental illness is not a hidden problem. At last count, our county has more than 75,000 homeless people, and many of them are living in vehicles or in tents on the street. And because a large percentage of those people do have a mental illness, it's not uncommon to see very severe symptoms on public display. I regularly walk down the street and see people mumbling to themselves or yelling at invisible antagonists or standing in the middle of busy streets completely unaware of their surroundings. The reason that I fear using the phrase mental illness to describe myself is because I'm afraid that that's the image that phrase brings to mind. That's not at all what my illness looks like. In fact, usually my illness doesn't look like anything, but it is an illness. When I read the APA definition of mental illness, I sat down and I wrote out all the ways in which my thoughts, feelings, and behavior cause distress or dysfunction in my life. I mentally shut down when I'm in high-stress situations. I don't trust relationships to be genuine. I avoid certain self and home care tasks. I bury thoughts that are too uncomfortable. I get migraines. I have panic attacks. I have hardly even started the list, but I think you get the picture at this point. There is no doubt that I fit the definition of mental illness. I have been thinking about it a lot. And when it comes down to it, I would rather fight the stigma around mental illness than blame myself. So I am embracing the terminology wholeheartedly. I have a mental illness. It's in my bio now. It's in my banner image. I'm going to own that everywhere I post. I still have the impetus to say I struggle with it or I'm challenged by it. But the reality is more that I live with it. I accept mental illness as part of who I am. I may be mentally ill, but that doesn't mean I can't have every single thing I always wish for you. And until next time, what I'm wishing you is love and joy and all those good things, because you deserve to be happy. And I can't wait to talk to you again.